Hello everybody, this is Professor Andrus, your instructor for Political Science 150, your online class for the winter intersession at College of the Canyons in 2013. So it's really great to have you in the class. Since this is a winter class and most of you are returning students and many of you priority students, most of you have had an online class before. However, for some of you it is your first online class. Either way, the point of this video tutorial is just to give you an idea of how I set up the online class and focus in on some of the content areas and the most important areas as far as how I developed the class for you to be aware of. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the classroom. Obviously, if you're already listening to this, you know how to log on to Blackboard. And so either you're in section 91314 or 91315. I'm teaching two sections during the winter. So as you log on, instructors use either the home page or the announcements page as their sign-on page. This is for let me back up and just say, for some of you, you might have used the previous Blackboard version, Blackboard 8, and there were significant changes to Blackboard 9. So for some of you, this might look a little different. They started using Blackboard 9 during the summer. Either way, what we have on the home page is the announcements page, and the home page basically is this kind of grouping of some of the various important highlights of the course. For example, the announcements page, or a list of tasks for you to undertake and so forth, a calendar, a to-do list, and so forth. In terms of my use of this, for the most part, I use the announcements board quite a bit. And if you just click on the announcements tab, if you follow the cursor over here, that's where obviously you can read them in greater detail. And here we have the calendar. I set up specific assignments being opened up, assignments being due, just basically opening and due dates on the calendar, just as a way to help you not lose track in a fast-paced 5-week winter semester. However, as we'll see, the semester schedule is listed in multiple places, not just in the calendar. Under the to-do list and the instructor page, it doesn't list much there, but in a student's page, sometimes it lists all of the things or some of the things that I've listed. However, as the due date comes and goes, you'll see that there are certain things that are due or certain things that are past due down here under the alerts area and so forth. So the home page is somewhere for you just to keep track of basically assignments or any notifications. And of course, the announcements page is where you can see the latest announcements that have been published, and of course I have a few I'm working on that I haven't published as of yet. The political news link is built in from the publisher Norton, and if I decide to use it for any assignment purpose, I'll let you know as that assignment opens up. But just for your benefit, for those of you that are interested in public affairs, if you happen to be poli-sci majors, and even if you're not, more importantly, that you should keep track of what's going on essentially in current events, current affairs, public affairs. And if you click on this link, it should take you right to the Norton Publisher website, where they have a list of the highlights or the headlines, I should say, of the day or the last few days. And a lot of these are linked to the New York Times and some other major publications. Okay, so that's politics in the news. Course information is essentially some of these things are found, or if not all of these things are found in the syllabus, but I broke them down into sections just so you could have different places to go ahead and locate certain information, such as the course summary and objectives and SLOs. If we go back to the required textbooks are listed there for you to be clear. The ISBNs I don't include just because the publisher changes the ISBN information sometimes. It's a bundle in the bookstore, so the ISBN for the bundle at the COC bookstore would be different than individual ISBNs for the We the People or the Governing California book that are sold separately. Okay, so there are various ISBNs, but the ISBN for the bookstore is the bundled ISBN that you'll be able to find on the bookstore website. Webpage. Okay, so then essentially going back to the course information, there's also some instructor information there. There's also a Norton textbook publishing companion site. There is quite a bit of information here that accompanies the 8th edition of the Ginsberg We the People textbook. And if you go ahead and access this site, you'll see that there's the cover page, or the cover of your book, and then of course we have something called Study Space. And if you click on Study Space, you'll see that there's a number of practice exams, flashcards, typical things you would see provided by the publisher to the student that accompanies the textbook. This website itself I'm not using in any way as an assignment. It's meant to supplement your knowledge and your studying if you so choose to use that. Okay. And then, of course, there's a link to the Poli-Sci Department website at College of the Canyons. Okay, so then we move on to a pretty important part of getting to know my course, and that is obviously we have the course syllabus here. And if you just click on the syllabus itself, you should be able to download it, and then you can open it on up here in just a minute to Word. Okay, thank you for your patience. So we have the syllabus there that lists all the typical information you would find in any syllabus. Because it's a winter class, there are no set office hours during January on campus. If you actually or absolutely need to meet with me, we can figure something out by appointment. But you can reach me anytime of any day through email, phone, or text. The office number there is probably the least reliable to get in touch with me by because I'm not in that office much at all during January, in and out a little bit. The cell phone is the best way to get in touch with me, and the cell phone is great for texting. If you want to just send a text, the emails go to the cell phone, or feel free to give me a call, no problem. So the course summary and objectives are listed there. A lot of things I want you to look over. The student learning outcomes, the textbook information, and then we get to the section of the syllabus that talks about assignments. And the assignments are broken into 3 components in this rubric down here, and that is that there's 50% of the grade goes toward or is applied toward chapter assignments, 30% toward 2 major exams, 15% for a Learning Unit 1 exam halfway through the course, and 15% for a second Learning Unit exam at the end of the course, 20% for an analytical paper. So for the online assignments, which is the bulk of the class week in and week out, actually day in and day out in a accelerated semester such as this, what we have is a set of assignments that we'll kind of link into in a minute that are meant to supplement your reading of the textbook. So a big part of the online class is you making sure as a student that you read the assigned chapters. And then there's generally some quizzes or some questions that I want you to type out answers to and then submit them. The quizzes for the online assignment section are not really traditional quizzes. I allow you to take them twice. I allow you to have extended amount of time on the quizzes because they're not actually tests. It's just a quiz format that I allow you to take to show me that you actually understand the material, you took the time to look it up in the book. I let you take it twice to improve upon your score, and the highest score is what's recorded for that assignment. For that reason, it's a big part of the course because it's not a traditional course, so I have to make sure you're reading the book and you're still staying busy learning the material. There's only so much I can do in terms of traditional lecture or conveying information to you the way we would in a normal face-to-face class. So make sure that you complete all of the assignments for each chapter because they add up to 50% of your grade. The tests are multiple choice. Nothing about this course is conducted on campus. The exams are online as well. And the analytical paper is 20%. That's where I'm testing you primarily on your writing, and we'll talk more about that either in this tutorial or another one. So just kind of moving forward, it's a straight 100% grading point system. There is no extra credit in the class unless I decide to add something ad hoc during the middle of the class, which I generally do most of the time. Just make sure that you log in quite often to do your work. You don't let a lot of time go by, because if I see that you haven't logged in for a week and a half, it shows me that you're not really following the class, and I very well might drop you. Okay. Online participation is without question necessary. And like in any classroom, I expect the behavior to be respectful. It's a political science course. There might be a lot of opinions exchanged if we do discussion boards, so just make sure you're very respectful of one another's position. You see the plagiarism and cheating policy there stated. It's self-explanatory. And now we get to the semester schedule. The semester schedule lists out, and this is something you should be very, very aware of here. The semester schedule lists out your reading assignments by date. So, for example, today is the first day of the class, Wednesday, January 2nd. These are the 3 chapters you're assigned to read for Chapter 1 of the Ginsberg, Chapter 5 of the Ginsberg textbook. That's the primary We the People book. And then Chapter 1 of the California Government in Crisis book by Anagnoson. So those are the 3 chapters to read for the Wednesday assignment. And then there's an assignment that accompanies that reading assignment, and that assignment is due Friday, and we'll get to that in a moment. So this semester schedule tells you what day certain reading assignments are assigned and when the accompanying assignment within Blackboard is due. So then on Thursday, I open up another assignment for Chapter 2, and then that assignment that accompanies that reading assignment that you can find in Blackboard is due on Sunday, generally at midnight. And this is true for the entire semester. Week 2, same thing. Monday, an assignment is given to you, a reading assignment. The assignment that accompanies that reading assignment is due on Wednesday. Wednesday, another reading assignment opens up, and as it states there, following the cursor, there is a right here, for example, there is a assignment that accompanies that that's due on Friday, etc., etc. And then there's a learning unit exam that opens up on Monday, January 14th. You'll have all week to study for that. You don't have to do it and finish it until Sunday. But week 3 also has other assignments, regular chapter assignments that apply to the final exam, and it's the same format, opening up on Monday, but because this is a midterm exam or a first learning unit exam, I don't make your reading assignment due until Friday, for example, on the Monday assignment. So just kind of look this over and familiarize yourself with basically the process of how assignments are opened up and when they're due. Now, some of you might be a little confused and thinking or asking yourself, what are the assignments? So the first part of your assignment is to read the chapters that are listed there on the assigned date. Okay? And then you correlate that with essentially the assignments tab. So if you click on the assignments tab, you'll go and you will find a Learning Unit 1 folder. And within that, you will see an Introduction to American and California Government folder. Here we have the Citizen and Government, Public Opinion, California Government, the 3 chapters I talked about. You can see that in your Blackboard right now because it's been opened up as your first reading assignment. If you click on this link, it will open it up, and you'll see that you have a quiz for Chapter 1, a quiz for Chapter 5, and another written assignment for you to submit written answers for Chapter 1 of the California book. Those are your assignments that are due this Friday at midnight. These assignments accompany your first reading assignment. So, going back to the syllabus, just as an example, we have today's assignment, Wednesday, January 2nd. You have to read these 3 chapters and understand the material as best you can, obviously. And then you click on to your assignments tab in Blackboard, and you'll see for the first reading assignment these assignments that are due. Okay. The assignments open up as they become available per the syllabus. Okay, so the syllabus, for example, lists tomorrow as Chapter 2, the Constitution. Even though your Wednesday assignment that opened up today is not due until Friday, tomorrow your next assignment opens up, and it's not due until Sunday, as it's listed here. Okay, so it's not due until Sunday, January 6th. So for the Thursday, January 3rd assignment that opens up tomorrow, which is Chapter 2, the Constitution, you're going to go back to your Assignments tab, and on Thursday, tomorrow, you are going to see under Learning Unit 2, the United States Constitution section is going to open up, and there is going to be an assignment or two within that field. So it all opens up sequentially based on the day that the syllabus says your reading assignment is in fact assigned. Okay. Let's see here. And of course, if you have any questions from this tutorial, feel free to submit them on the general discussion board, which I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, so that is the approach to the weekly assignments. And you can find the syllabus there. There's the orientation letter that most of you have read from the Distance Education website. There is, under the Documents, Course Documents tab, a Ginsberg. Again, we're in the Course Documents tab right here. There is a Ginsberg textbook PowerPoint series here that you are more than welcome to utilize for studying. Okay. Back under the assignments, if we just keep going down the left side of the menu here, we have an analytical paper assignment, and the analytical paper assignment is about the military-industrial complex. Feel free to read that, obviously, right away and think about completing that paper. I'll try to do a video lecture or tutorial on that in the next few days. Okay, and then under due dates and assignments, the exact same list that we found, the semester schedule that I pointed out a moment ago under the syllabus. In fact, I'll bring up the syllabus one more time. This entire list here, the semester schedule, I went ahead and put under its own tab here for your quick reference. So that shows you what day the reading assignment is opened up, what day the reading assignment or the accompanying assignments within Blackboard are due. And you'll want to make sure that you keep track of those. The due dates are also listed within Blackboard, so if you miss a due date will come up and let you know that it's past due. You can still submit the assignment, but it will be counted as late, and you might, in fact you will, receive a slight deduction in your points awarded. Okay, so the due dates and assignment sheet. If we go down the menu even further, we have the discussion board. There is something I created here called the general discussion board. The general discussion board is not for any assignment. It's for students to post questions about the course, about material, technical problems, whatever you want answered. And the purpose of this is that if I provide an answer, it very well might answer or solve the problem for another student that is experiencing the same situation, and that way there isn't a need to repeat the same question and answer for multiple students, if possible. Okay, so that's the general discussion board, but any discussion board assignments you'll be linked into from the assignment page up here. If there's a group assignment, which there should be and there will be, you'll see here that you will be assigned either to the Democrats, the Greens, Libertarians, or Republicans. Please don't read into that. I just chose those as names of the groups. If you're given an assignment, you do not have to assume the ideological leanings of those groups. I am just picking names for groups that are politically oriented. And then we have web links, tools, library link to COC Library, Tutoring Center, and then of course your grade link. When you click on your grade page, you'll see your grade. It doesn't say anything right now on this tutorial because under the instructor page I'm not a student, so it doesn't list any grades for the instructor. However, the your grades will start showing up as each assignment is posted and you complete each assignment. Okay. And then it's a straight 100-point grading scale. Don't be confused if Blackboard says there's 103 possible or 98 possible. It just means that I'm working on assignments down the road. Just know that it's a 100-point grading scale. Okay. And then there's the link to the Norton course materials, again, that we talked about before. Actually, this is additional beyond the website that they provide. This is purely voluntary. You don't have to use these. I'm not even going to link on it. Right here you see a link that's not opened up right now to you, but on my page it says Andrus Video Lessons. And the Andrus Video Lessons are essentially what we're doing right now. I'm in the process of developing some mini lectures for students that would benefit from or appreciate using a 5 or 10 minute lecture on various political science topics to supplement the online written material. And as they are completed, I'll go ahead and let you know, or I'll open up that link and you'll be able to access those for essentially mini lectures that you can listen to and watch online. Okay, so essentially that is what I wanted to accomplish by just giving you a very short video tutorial of the course. Again, the most important thing, and there are many questions to be answered throughout the semester, but for now the most important thing is to read the syllabus and make sure you understand that your weekly assignments are, number one, to read the chapters, and then looking at the semester schedule, clicking on the assignments tab here, okay, going to your Learning Unit 1 folder, and then clicking on, after you've read these introductory statements about the various subject matters, clicking on the assignments and completing the assignments. Okay, so because, again, they're worth 1 point, 2 point, 3 points each, sometimes 5 points each, you can miss a couple of assignments. It's not going to damage your grade too much. If you miss too many of them, it's going to end up costing you a letter grade. It's going to end up adding up and costing you the ability to pass the class. So you have to stay on track. And the reason there are so many assignments for every chapter is it's not a traditional class. We have to somehow or another make sure that students stay busy immersing themselves with the subject matter in the textbook, because otherwise they're not in front of an instructor, they're not listening to lecture 3 hours a week. So that's the trade-off of an online class versus a traditional class. Okay? All right, so if you have any questions, further questions, feel free to either email me or post them in the general discussion board. If I am able to create more video tutorials like this, which I expect to, I'll be sure to notify you. Thank you so much, and welcome to the semester.